What is up, guys? Coding Jesus here. Guys, in today's video, I want to talk about what is an order book and kind of understanding an order book through the lens of a quantitative developer. Now, I've recently finished an order book series, writing an order book in C++, supporting multiple different order types and writing unit tests for that order book. And when I was reading the comment section, I noticed that one guy who was interested in the software component of an order book series asked, what the heck's an order book? So let's go ahead and actually talk about that today, because there's actually 3 levels to the order book. And I think a lot of people are going to be interested to hear about that third level because most people only focus on the first 2 levels. Okay, let's take a step back and first ask ourselves, what is an order book? Okay, an order book is a store of buy and sell orders for a specific asset, financial instrument, security, whatever you'd like to call it, usually organized by time, price, priority. What does that mean? Let's take a simple example. Let's say that you're looking to buy a PS5 at GameStop. Now, GameStop is the only seller in the market, but we have a bunch of buyers. And let's say that GameStop is willing to sell to the highest bidder, to the person that's willing to pay the most. Given that GameStop wants to get the most for their money, the most for every PS5 that they sell, they'll be selling to the highest bidder. If more than one person is willing to buy at that highest bid, then they'll sell to the highest bidders, plural, in order of who got there first. Okay? Now let's take a look at how an order book actually looks like conceptually, now that we've understood that simple example. And we're going to be focusing on the first level of the order book. Okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have my little whiteboard. And we're going to draw a little, okay? So we're going to draw. So you can view an order book, as I mentioned, at various depths. One of those depths being the L1, which is the highest level of the order book. What does L1 mean? The L1 stands for level 1, and what it really refers to is the best bid or best ask. The best bid, put simply, is the most somebody is willing to pay for this financial product, security, whatever the actual product is that's underlying the order book. And the best ask is the lowest somebody is willing to sell this asset for. So let's go back to our simple example and let's draw it on the whiteboard. So let's say we have a PS5, okay? Now, let's say we have 2 sides, people that are willing to buy and people that are willing to sell, okay? Let's say that the most somebody's willing to buy for is $100, and the least somebody's willing to sell for is $110. This would be our best ask, and this would be our best bid. It's that simple. It's very intuitive. As a buyer, you want to purchase an item at the lowest price possible, and as a seller, you want to receive the highest price. So the best bid is the highest price somebody's willing to buy something for. The best ask is the lowest price somebody's willing to sell something for. It's usually called L1, by the way, guys, because this is a one-dimensional level 1 view of the order book. There's just one number for the best bid and one number for the best ask. Okay? Now let's look at L2. L2 is kind of the second level of the order book, and sometimes you can think about it as the second dimension. The L2 view of the order book stretches beyond this best bid and best ask. And here you get a more holistic view of every level on the bids and the asks, as well as the quantity on each side. So yes, there's somebody willing to buy this PS5 for $100, but there's also some guy that's saying, well, I'm willing to spend $90 on a PS5. And there's also somebody that's saying, I don't want to sell for $110, that's too low. I want to sell for $120. Now, oftentimes in an order book, especially on the L2, you'll see quantity associated with each price level. So yes, somebody's willing to buy for 90 and somebody's willing to buy for 100, but somebody's willing to buy 5 for 100. And there's one person willing to buy that 5. At the 90 level, there are, let's go ahead and grab the eraser. There's 2 people willing to buy at 90, and in total, their purchase quantity is going to be 10. So at 90, the total purchase quantity is 10, and there's 2 people willing to buy. So this is count, this is quantity, and this is price. The same thing applies for the ask side. So on the asks, we can see here that the best ask is 110. That's the lowest somebody's willing to sell their PS5 for example. There is 5 PS5s being sold at this price, and 2 people are offering. Now that might mean that this 5 is made up of somebody willing to sell 3 and another person willing to sell 2, okay? Because there's 2 people on this level. Now let's focus on the third level of the order book. Okay, guys, the third level of the order book is usually where the big-brained players exist. The third level is the part of the onion that focuses exclusively on Q priority, where Q priority is determined by a Q priority algorithm. At the beginning of the video, what I talked about is time price priority. What does that mean? Time price priority in, I guess, other financial terms is oftentimes called FIFO, first in, first out. What does FIFO mean? Well, as I showed you guys right here when we were talking about L2, I mentioned that there's two people, so the count is 2 on this level of 110. The total quantity on this level, quantity, is 5, okay? And the price is 110. That's the best ask. So we're focused on this level currently. This 5 can be made up of, for example, somebody willing to sell 3 units and somebody willing to sell 2 units, because 3 plus 2 equals 5, and we know that there's 2 people on this level. Okay? Now let's say somebody wants to buy, and they don't want to wait. They want to immediately purchase a PS5. If they wanted to wait, they might join this 100 level over here and just sit on the order book. That's the term that's used, resting on the order book. Somebody might say, I don't want to wait. I want to take liquidity. I want to cross the order book. I want to buy the cheapest PS5 available. So what they'll do is they'll say, well, I want to buy 1 unit at 110. Now, because person A was here first, before person B, and person A is offering 3 units at 110, person A is going to be filled for 1 quantity. So this will go down from 3 to 2, and the total quantity on this level is now going to be 4. Okay, so let's talk about how Q priority works. Well, how Q priority works in a FIFO system is first in, first out. We just covered that. But oftentimes what exchanges will do is, on every order on the order book in L3, they'll disseminate some sort of identifier that will be uniquely attributable to this person's Q priority. If you think about it, if there are 5 orders, order, let's just say order I, 4, and then 5, then what's going to happen is that this person might be given a Q priority identifier of, for example, 1. This guy will be given a Q priority identifier of 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this Q priority has a lot of trading implications, which we'll see why soon. Now, this is the simple first in, first out Q priority algorithm. But beyond FIFO, there's a lot of other Q priority algorithms. I'm going to talk about one more in today's video, and then I'm going to be talking about more in a separate video, okay? Another Q priority algorithm is called prorata. Prorata is very interesting. Prorata, okay? What does prorata mean? Let's take a step back from this whiteboard and discuss what that might look like. Let's go back to that PS5 example. Let's say that I'm willing to buy a PS5 on launch day, and I'm willing to pay the highest price of $300, and I arrive there 10 hours before launch, okay? So it's midnight, they open at 8 a.m., and okay, I'm there 8 hours before launch, let's say. Let's say right before launch, a minute before, somebody arrives, and they're willing to buy 10 units at $300. It's just me and him in line, and we're both willing to pay the same price. Now, because that person is willing to buy more units than I am, and we're both at the same price, despite the fact that I got there earlier, GameStop is going to sell to him first before they sell to me. GameStop can be selling 1 unit, 5 units, 10 units, 100 units, it doesn't matter. That person will get filled first until they're fully filled before I will be matched, before I will be serviced, before I will have a chance to purchase a PS5. So that's the prorata algorithm. And that's why oftentimes in treasuries markets, as opposed to equities markets, you'll see a lot of volume on the order book, a lot of quantity, because people are looking to get to the front of the line, not by virtue of being there soon or being there first, but by virtue of being willing to purchase or sell the most amount of that financial product. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to follow me, go ahead and do that on Instagram, link in the description box below. I also have a Calendly link that you guys can click on if you'd like to book my time to meet with me one-on-one. And if you'd like to become a patron, you get access to my exclusive Discord. You get access to these videos earlier than everybody else. You can go ahead and do so in the link in the description box below, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully it was an intuitive explanation. See you later.